All right. How you doing, bro? What's going? What's good? What's good?
Shalom, shalom, brother, shalom. Good to have you back.
Hey, it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Yeah, man, you gotta take that vacation sometimes.
Yeah, you do have to take it sometimes. But but man, so on the topic of these old niggas.
Man, look, the story is the same, just a different
Yeah,
day, man.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
a different day.
It is.
But I was like, yo, when you told me, when you told me what the topic was gonna be, I was like, oh man, who the hell did he run into over the last week, man? I'm like,
Man.
and then I started thinking about what you said. It is the holiday season for old niggas, isn't
Yeah.
it?
The holiday season, man, that's when yeah. It's whenever that old nigga conglomerate. That's whenever you get them.
Yeah, yeah. But I will say this though, something you said at the end, which I agree with 100%. The best way to get at these fools, man, is young brothers to do totally different, get their game on, get it together, and move forward. Because, like you said, it forces them to face what they've become, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, they can stand in our face and tell us, "Oh, it don't matter, it don't matter." But in those wee moments at night, when you're sitting there by yourself, you can't help but think of it.
Right. You can't.
You know,
And the funny thing is, the other man, they'll complain about the younger generation. And,
hmm
you know, but you know, they I won't say they nurtured they nurtured the environment that happened.
oh, absolutely,
That
absolutely,
without a doubt. And they
absolutely.
keep nurturing it.
Well, I mean, I mean, let's be honest. The reason, the only reason they're mad or angry or whatever at the younger generation is because the younger generation does what it's supposed to. It don't listen to the old motherfuckers who fucked it up.
For
We're
sure.
not we're not supposed to.
Hey, and the funny thing, what's good, Cannon Wilds? Whenever we had this talk, we had a conversation yesterday,
hmm
and it got to, well, what culture got okay, it went into basketball and everything. Yeah, I'll admit it. I ain't shit. I don't care because I'm going in.
What?
What's good, Jerome? It's funny because they'll sit up here and okay, we start having this debate over basketball, and
Okay.
they start going at this and this thing. I said, look, I said I'm not gonna take anything away from anybody, regardless of what era. I said, but I said you can't tell me Jordan and all of them would not have been completely different if they didn't have technology in their childhood like exists now.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
said I said, you know, my era, we came from a time where we got to see three different ages of tech, how three different ages of technology changed. I'm like,
Right. Right.
because we had to actually deal with it. Y'all old motherfuckers didn't like that. Unless but the ones that would have, they wouldn't be. They not the old nigga conglomerate.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, well, what does it have? What does it have to? What's the culture? I said it's got everything to do with it. So when you got young dudes who have fucked up and they're like, yeah, you right, telling me I'm right. I was like, and they can't even see what the fuck the culture. I said now. I said, okay, you gonna say fuck the culture, but I don't want to hear you complain about these old knucklehead young ass niggas fucking up. But you saying fuck the culture, and the culture is the is the reason why they like that.
What makes it so stupid is that when you look at the way everything played out, it would be my generation and it would be my generation, people my age and slightly older, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs,
Mm-hmm.
yada yada, who pushed all that technology forward.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're the ones who pushed that shit. I mean, let's be real. The whatever's going on now is the new generation. I don't argue that at all. But as far as it goes for the foundation and setting it off, that's me and my people. That's the boomers.
Yeah, but
I
it was
mean, I
only
mean,
a certain. It
right.
was even only a certain,
I
it's
mean
only
now,
certain ones.
right. But the thing is that it's how do you put it? Okay, it this I don't know if this analogy applies, so I'm just
Hmm.
gonna put it out there. It's like that dude from high school who got the winning football touchdown, but all he wants to do is live off that memory
Oh yeah,
because he's got nothing else.
yeah.
So for old niggers, it's always about chasing pussy, and they're only as good as their last conquest or tapping a pussy. Nothing else matters.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like that's all they want to be known for.
yeah.
So then when they get young brothers who they see, or like I said, whatever it may be, school,
Their purpose
um,
is in something
the
else.
right, exactly. Thank you. And they just want to beat them down with it. But what they fail to understand is that, like I said, every generation does it. They look back on the generation prior and be like, "Yo, y'all stupid. I'm not trying to be part of this bullshit."
Yeah.
Especially, especially when they get to see because here's the thing about technology, especially the internet. You can't blow smoke up a young man's ass no more because everything is fucking on the internet now.
And
You
not
you
only
you
that,
can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and go, oh man, but that's just the case over there. But when you go online and you see every dude getting divorce raped or kids taken, you can't hide it no
anything or
more.
anything.
Yeah,
The
exactly. You
thing
can't hide
is,
it.
the thing that the internet did, not only did not only did it made information easy to access, but it also made the time that you could access it.
And
Everything that
yep,
you do, it happens just like that.
right. And the in- and the
You-
int- and the internet actually goes back to something we said before too, because we have to put it in the same group. The internet works just like money and liquor. It shows the real person.
oh yeah.
You might now you might have an avatar up there. That may be true, but it shows the real person.
right.
And I'm sorry, before we go any further,
Yeah,
what's up,
that's right.
Doc?
Yeah.
What's
Hey, shalom, guys. What's going on?
I'm sorry, I was getting into it, man, and I forgot we didn't even say hello to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh
it
no,
was
no,
good.
y'all. I was enjoying the conversation. I was like, let these guys rock, cause I already said my piece this weekend.
Yeah, that was good. That was
Yeah,
good.
that was a good one.
I'm saying I was upset I came in late on it, but I got there. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. This is what we doing.
Yeah, I, I put it like this. I didn't expect for a YouTube daddy to die when I created that stream, but it just so happened it just fell right through. So it's like, okay, I'll include that in the stream. But it was just time. I was like, okay, I gotta say something because too many guys being interlopers. They say they about this life or whatever life, and then in another stream or another topic they doing something completely opposite. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Mhm.
to me, I'd rather you be hot or cold. And like I was saying in the stream, Eisen, he's about what he's about. Lawrence, you're about what you're about. I can deal with these guys because y'all don't flip flop, and y'all don't say one thing and then act another way. But a lot of these dudes, both online and outside of
Oh
YouTube,
yeah.
yeah,
I've yeah, it
yeah.
is interesting, very
Yeah, because
interesting.
like I said before, and Eyes and I have talked about it. The invitation is always open. I'll bring up everybody I know in the real world, man. They'll tell you, no, this is me.
Yeah.
They'll tell you. My cousin William, Denise, Tess, Lawrence, Gerald. They'll tell you, nah, that's how that nigga's always been. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna change that, man.
The way I talk, I talk the same way. And it's females that I know that'll say, yeah, oh yeah, no, this is how he is. But
Mhm.
and what's so funny is the females don't even get off in their feelings about it like these niggas do. That's
That's
what's
true.
so
Yeah,
funny.
yep.
Yeah. That's not even funny. That's just outright fucking sad.
Well, it's so pathetic. You can't do nothing but laugh.
That's why it's sad. I mean, that's why it's because like I said, you it's like I said before. You reach a certain age. How is it? Uh, I'm sorry. I'm getting excited. Hold on. Let me give a thought.
Hey, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
um,
Right, Lou.
uh,
That's
yeah,
the
you're
word.
right. No consistency. Yeah. What I was gonna say was when I was a boy, when I was a child, I did childish things. When I became a man, I put childish things away, or something along those lines. And that's the problem with old niggas. That's the problem. They still want to act like they young bucks, man.
Oh no, they ain't acting. It's not an act.
Well, that's true. That's true.
They still
But
childish. They still
but
childish.
yeah, but like I said, once you reach a certain age, man, yo, none of that stuff's supposed to be going down, bro. No, I mean, look, I don't care what your world is. I don't care what town, city, environment, community. I just don't care. But you reach a certain age, because the same way we put that on women, that belongs on us too. Once you reach a certain age, this shit you just not supposed to be doing no more.
But that's the difference though. Look, you can't hold women to that.
No. I'm not trying to hold them to it.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that's the way things are supposed to work. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Under normal circumstances, the same way same way women should not be out there trying to compete with 15-year-olds. The same way grown ass men in their 50s shouldn't be trying to compete with a 22-year-old brother. It's just not supposed to be like that.
Hey, Lawrence, here's the difference though. That shit with the women, it's always been like it. This shit ain't gonna ever change. That's why you had the whole problem with Sarah and Hagar.
That's correct. That's true. That's true.
The only difference is because you have society, which is a beta concept.
Right. Yeah, it is. It is.
Because they don't have to physically prove themselves like that to get put down. These old niggas think they can do it, but the difference is what they're trying to prove it now, instead of just in life and survival in general, is now about I can get these bitches better than you.
And that's one of the reasons why my faith in the Most High is what it is. I sincerely believe in his eugenics program. It's an excellent program.
I do too. And
it'll fix all of it eventually.
I'm gonna fall back and let somebody else speak on this one.
Okay.
I mean, hey, like I said on the stream last week, it's sink or swim. So those who can navigate in society and make something of themselves, they'll be just fine. But the old niggas and the ones who follow in their footsteps, hey, I just let the whole whim of survival of the fittest take them out. And as we saw last week, it holds true. So I'm firm ones like, hey, eugenics, one way or another, either by nature or by force, it'll run its course. It will run its course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, for me, first and foremost, that has to be done. And I've said this plenty of times. I keep saying these old niggas got to be fridged. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
They gotta go. That's why I said
they got to be. They got to be fridged, man. They got to be.
That's why I said my comment about Ty City. Whenever he did them two old niggas got to go. Man, they got to go. They have to be the first thing to go.
Oh
yeah.
Because you can't get it because you couldn't get anything else done because them motherfuckers will all be trying to rise up to protect the bullshit status quo. Yeah. They'll be the first ones. Well, you can't do that to a woman, or you can't do that to that. Nah.
The only thing you do is just go ahead and put them down.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just look at the hypocrisy. You just had an old Negro who complained about niggas not being competent and being dumb as rocks, not the sharpest knife in a drawer, not the brightest bulb on the tree, but yet he passed without life insurance.
Yeah.
Who's the real dummy in this situation?
I'm assuming he left somebody behind, kids, yada yada yada.
That I don't know, but
at the very least, he ain't got nobody to bury him. Bottom line, he got no money to do it.
Right, and he's supposed to be college educated.
Oh, he a pimping hoe degree. He might as well be like the pimping hoe degree niggas.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got you.
So again, this is why I'm with y'all. Like this whole, I'm an elder, so you gotta respect me and everything. No, sir. I'm looking at your lifestyle. If your lifestyle doesn't seem as improving as where I am at the moment, you haven't earned my respect.
Yeah.
Well, you got to wait for it, man. I mean, you got because, like I said, it goes back to what New was saying about consistency.
Right.
You got to be here for a while, man. I mean, it's and that's not even an old person thing. That's just a person thing. You got to be here for a while. You got to show consistency. You got to show you stand by what you're saying, yada yada yada. Before you get anybody to respect anything. And truth be told, there's no law that anybody has to respect you. It's a
No,
nice
Right.
thing. It's a
no,
nice
Actually,
thing. It's a nice
actually,
thing, but they don't have to.
last time I checked, the Most High himself said, "Have no respect to person."
That's correct.
Mm.
That is correct. He did.
Mm-mm.
He absolutely did.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
But here's the thing about it. It goes back to that word, that that New put in there, that consistency. Here's the thing. When you've been consistent about what you say you about, you gonna get it. You ain't gotta ask for it. You ain't gotta demand it.
That's
exactly.
You
true.
gonna get
That
it.
is true.
If
That
you
is true.
respect yourself, others will start to respect you, and that's oh my goodness.
Well,
That's
that goes.
why. Oh, go ahead, Lawrence.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying that's why when I made that video early, I think it was early Friday morning, where I talked about like versus respect. I'm just gonna be honest. Too many color folks want to be liked so badly.
Yes, sir.
They want to be liked so badly. They don't. They think respect and like are inclusive, but they're mutually exclusive.
Yes, they are.
Mm.
Yes, they are.
Like
They-
I can have respect for you. I may not like you, but I can still have respect for you. Likewise, a person can like you all they want, but be disrespectful at the same time.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It took me a lot of years to figure that out and come to that understanding. But that is very true.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who don't figure it out. I mean, they
Yeah,
really.
I guess I think uh I say I guess it took me a little while to figure out who respected me. Now the thing was I didn't early on. I figured I didn't care about being liked. I figured it out. I figured it out pretty young. I didn't. Matter of fact, when I was probably in elementary school, and I was like, you know what? I just had that Vegeta moment when he when he was training and he was trying to go Super Saiyan. He just said, "Fuck it, I can't." I can't do it. I just had that moment where I was like, you know what? F it. If they don't like me, I'm gonna give them a reason to not do it. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Like I said, it took me a minute to figure that out.
Yeah.
I mean, I was definitely older before I like totally figured it out,
Mhm.
and then I started adjusting accordingly. And once I started to adjust, that's when everybody started to fall by the wayside because I
Yeah.
started to see who was what for what, why, and how. And I'm sorry, just real quick, Canon, what you wrote about old views for different times. Normally I would agree with you, brother. I would, but I think it's different now. I think we just got old niggas who want to play the fool for the sake of playing the fucking fool. I don't even think it's about different points of view anymore from different times. I think they're just being dumbasses for the sake of being dumbasses.
I won't say it's just for the sake of it, unless you're just talking about for the sake of pussy.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well then,
Because see,
the thing is with this one, then y'all would actually both be right
oh, okay, all right.
because of the simple fact they can't comprehend how the times are different. In the sense of, in the sense of like they can't comprehend how technology made it accessible for all women to be able to get thirsty niggas just like that. Millions of they can't comprehend it. So they can't comprehend how even they are nothing more than just a little another notch on the tally.
See, okay, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not. I just feel that to some degree they willfully make that choice. I think they could.
That's why I said y'all. That's why I'm saying y'all both are right.
Yeah.
I think it's enough. It's enough amount for y'all to both be right to where they willfully are dumb, And then there's just some that are just they're dumb, they're stupid. They can't learn any better.
Yeah.
Oh dang! I done brought up that word. Me and Sigma got to go in on that
one. Seeking my creator wrote really. I don't know.
Yeah, really about what? Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah, social media has changed.
Yeah, I see what he's saying now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like what Jerome Whiteside put in the chat. Let me go back to it. When he talks about, my
going from the typewriter to
AOL to MySpace,
and then from AOL to MySpace,
and then you got Twitter and all this other.
Actually, the dam broke right after MySpace when Facebook came, and that's when the shit just blew up. Facebook, and then all of a sudden there was Twitter, Instagram, everything.
Yeah. TikTok and all. Look, they can't comprehend none of that. They can't do it.
Mm-hmm. When I have every chick I beat on my friends list and time.
It's not only because of that technology aspect of it. Not only is it they don't want to, they really just can't. That's why I was saying y'all both are right.
Hey, I got a question. As an old nigga myself, I'm gonna throw this out here. You tell me what both of you think. Do you think old niggas are upset because social media leveled the playing field where they used to just be able to go out and flash money and get young pussy, and they can't do that now because they're not on social media or online? So it kind of leveled everything.
No, I just think they're that delusional.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But
I think for most of them, they're so out of touch with tech that they can't comprehend it. That's why I was saying I get Cannon's point. My bad. You Sigma?
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm kind of the same way because, you got dudes right now being upset online talking about, well, why you gotta travel and everything when we got women over here. Like, technology has changed it so that with them, they spent decades only dealing with, as I would say, the people in their watering hole. And that's only like maybe 5 blocks, 10 blocks. Now with social media, you can connect with anybody on the other side of the globe just with a push of a button. And you would think that being that technology kind of started from their young generation, talking about the older niggas, they should be the ones that should somewhat still be taking advantage of it. But they're the most untech savvy individuals you can ever think of.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's a conscious choice, because like I said, that's my generation and I'm very tech savvy. There's no question to that.
But wait though. You have you're leaving out the intellect level. That's why I'm saying you can't
well, that's what I'm getting at, where it's saying they're not tech savvy, because you got to have some sort of intellect to be able to know how to use technology. And for the most part, let's just be honest. You got old niggas that feel like having a platform is their means of having a conversation. I'm sorry.
Right.
You don't have a human conversation behind the screen. You actually have to meet people in person.
Yeah. See that right there from Canon? That's what I'm talking about. See, and that's what I'm trying to get.
You know what?
Because that's why it's weird to me. We created this environment and then turned around and either lost control of it, ignored it completely, blew it off, whatever have you may, and then have the audacity to get upset because somebody else came in and did right by it. Does that make sense?
Here's the thing though, man. Look, I can't give them that much damn credit and say they created it. They nurtured it, but to say they created, damn, I'm not finna give them old niggas that kind of credit. Now, I'm for real. I'm not gonna give them that.
Well, I definitely say they did not create social media, but
no.
I say the environment itself they didn't even create it.
Well, I'm talking about the infrastructure, because without the infrastructure, none of this would exist.
Yeah,
and like I said, I'm not trying to take away from Young Bucks. I'm not trying to do that.
That's what I'm saying. They nurtured it. I won't say created because Because I mean, ain't
Well,
nothing new under the sun.
Well, the concept of the computer systems, the first PCs, the foundation for the internet and the infrastructure on that. Yeah, that was boomers. We can't take that away.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
what I'm
that's what I was
saying,
getting at too.
but what I'm saying is that instead of following all the way through, it's like they got to that point, did that, bounced away, said fuck it, and then everybody else came in from millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever, and started making use of it to start doing some stuff with it, good or bad. And then once that happened, now the boomers are upset because because they've been left behind. But you weren't left behind. You walked away and left it sitting there. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
This is to kind of summarize what Lawrence just said. This is how I kind of see it. Technology wise, they helped improve society as far as technology.
Right.
But on a societal level, they're still stuck on Jim Crow thinking.
There you go. There you go.
Now,
that's it. Yeah.
Now, to seek in my creator's point here, these old guys set up Skynet and are now shocked they have Terminators. No.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, look, the thing is, what it is, these niggas don't know who the Terminators are.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
They don't realize these females is Skynet and they making the Terminators. That's the thing. They don't realize that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I can't argue that. I can't argue that at all.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if you notice, since I've been in this space, and Eisen, we talk offline, so you know what goes on in the real world too.
Yeah.
My arguments never with young brothers. My arguments are never really with women. Yeah. It's always the older brothers, and I'm arguing with my peers here. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, I spend more time with that.
I would use a different word. I wouldn't even want to lower myself. Like I wouldn't say peers. I would just say my era group.
my generation, right?
Generation, era.
Okay, I wouldn't say peers.
They definitely. I hate to use the term, but they definitely wasn't your intellectual equals.
Well. In all fairness, considering all the other PhDs up in here with me, yeah, no, they're not. I swear, every time one of them talks, I feel like throwing a Scooby snack at them. I mean, they just.
You know what, Cannon? You know what? I might have said it a little wrong. The women of Skynet, Terminators are these old niggas. They the Terminators. They do what Skynet bidding.
Yeah, man. But yeah, right. Yeah, the old niggas are Skynet.
No, the women are Skynet. God damn, my bad. I undid what you did.
Huh? Yeah, I don't know who that is, and then I saw the other one earlier.
No, you did right.
Okay. Because I don't even know what that was supposed to mean. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, Pookie 2.0. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Pookie 2.0.
Yeah.
All right, Evan. All right. but yeah, but like I said, man, like I said, for me, that's I have debates with lots of people for different things, but man, when there's just a bunch of people in my generation and we're sitting around having beers, man, I'm telling you, sometimes it takes so much for me not to take that beer bottle and smash him on the head, man. I'm dead ass. I wish I could tell you I was joking. I wish I could tell you, but I'm not. And it's not. And don't get me wrong, it's not just me, because like both of you said before, like minds are gonna drift towards each other. That's just the way things are. Mm-hmm. So if you see myself and William and Gerald and Lawrence and we're sitting there and we're having our conversations and we're chilling, and like Leon comes up and he starts talking all that dumb shit, man. Yo, he will get hit with a bottle. and I'm telling you that not as a joke, but because we've actually done that. We've thrown a bottle at his ass.
Yeah. Take your shit on somewhere else.
Well, it goes back to what I said before, dude. your mind is supposed to shift when you go through certain points in time and age. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Supposed
You,
to.
you, you know what, Lawrence, you bring up a good point because you can look at if you go to broader YouTube, not just Black YouTube, rarely in Black YouTube, but if you go to broader YouTube, your generation, as far as older people, the boomers, I've seen videos where older men are actually living life. You know,
Yes.
they're showing what they're doing outside. My dad was showing me there's this guy up in Canada.
My
He's like,
reliant,
yeah, I think it is.
my
Up in,
self-reliant.
yeah,
Hand built his own
own
cabin, hot
cabin,
tub, the whole nine. Yes, yeah, that's my
own
boy.
cabin.
That's
And
my
I'm
boy.
just,
That's my
I'm
boy.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just like, I mean, you know, and I'm like, you know, glued to the video, watching how he's doing this and everything, and I'm saying to
Mhm.
myself, wow,
And you want to know what the
how,
funny part is? You want to know
what's
what the
that?
funny part? He got pussy. He just won't let her come. I'm dead ass serious.
But
He's got
that
pussy.
proves, yeah, that proves
He just leaves her behind. He'll let her come up every blue moon, but he's out there by himself.
exactly. That proves the point right there. You actually see other men around that age, they're living life. They go outside and show you what they're doing as far as building a cabin or showing some adventure as far as
Mhm.
like places and everything. I mean, you even got older dudes that doing like ghost hunting and whatnot. And
Yes.
I'm thinking to myself, what has these old niggas do?
Yep.
And you can see all they do is just talk about recycled topics. That's
Yep.
it.
But
Like,
like I said, there my generation, they're out there. There's one guy, uh, uh, Georgia postman. He does homesteading on his channel.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
Him and his wife. Some of the females are even on point. They stay home. They take care of their home. They take care of their family. They show you how to do canning. They show you how to, how to strip meat, feathers. I mean, like you said, in the broader YouTube, we are out there doing some positive shit, or at least some helpful shit at the very least.
Yeah.
Other than sitting here with this. And generally, if you talk to one of them about that, they'll do the same thing that I do to you guys. I don't know who you're talking about because we don't watch that shit.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. They tell me about a lot of these mugs I have no idea about.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I mean that you know, which I get it. I grew. I'm an older millennial. I could almost be a young, a late Gen Xer in a way.
Yeah.
But so it's a lot of stuff that I'm just not interested in. So when you grew up in a point when the whole culture that you grew up in is fuckery, it's pretty normal stuff to look at.
Well, if we're gonna be honest, every generation's got its fuckery.
Yeah, it does.
But there's different types and different levels to the fuckery.
Well,
This shit you expect just because it's part of, like I said, it's part of growing up, it's part of changing, maturing, yada yada. But like I said, when you reached a point where the elders have literally become, how can I put it? When the elders reach a point of no return where they have absolutely nothing of value, we've hit a dead end. Because at the very least, the elders should be somebody who passes on advice. These motherfuckers.
They passing on advice.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying they should, it should be good, strong, positive advice. But what they're passing on is actually fuckery. I mean, and so we've reached a point of no return. That's why I said, if you're going to quote unquote fix a society or community or whatever, look, it's just like Exodus. He made them wander for 40 years to kill off them old niggas before letting the new ones go into the promised land.
Yep.
And here's the thing though. There's fuckery in every generation, but now nigga fuckery has become American culture.
Well, American black culture.
No, that shit is American culture. You
So you think it's across all of it?
Hell yeah.
All right.
I mean, wait, come on now.
I never really thought about it.
Watch this, Lawrence. You got motherfucking government officials bringing motherfucking hoes into the White House talking about these broads are upstanding, naming them women of the year. They talk. I mean, WAP was a movement for women, and it was looked at as great on a national level.
And
I mean, you got. I'm telling you, man. I mean, hey, you got. I mean, Cardi B, a hoe, an admitted prostitute and known who admitted to drugging dudes and robbing them. They bring her to the White House. She is the example of what upstanding niggas are supposed to be. It's on a national level. Yeah. Damn,
Omega said it best. We got more wiggers than white people. I have to agree.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I would definitely have to agree with that as well. You can't get past it, actually.
And you know what I have to say? Who made me look at that? Zero. He was right. This shit is on a national level. Wait, hold on. Not
that's why.
But watch this.
That's why I don't spend a lot of time talking to him, because he forces me to think, and sometimes I want to take a break. Sometimes I just want to take a fucking break. You understand? See, that's them intellectual motherfuckers. No, I'm just playing.
These niggas and these hoes, they were promoting for that motherfucker Sha'Carri Richardson to go to be off in the damn Olympics.
Yeah.
They wanted her to be the face of American culture as a whole. Boy.
Not only that, Eisen, but they even tried to sue the International Olympics Committee, saying that all nations should allow weed to be legal in all nations. And that's where the buck stopped, because it's like, look, you may act crazy in your nation, but not everybody outside of America likes you.
Yeah, right.
That's true. They trying to take it. They trying to tell these people how to run their own country. Golly, it was. Yeah,
like I told somebody before. Just shoot me. Just shoot me now. I mean, I mean, because that's the only option. You're gonna have to kill me, or I'm gonna have to do it to you. Because you gotta go. Look, none of this, because how can I put it? The same way we talk about eugenics all the time. So we know the vast majority of these broads have to be taken out. Ran throughs, whatever you want to call them. But you can't do that until you eliminate the old niggas. And just to show you how bad the old niggas are, you have to take them out before you take the white knights out.
You ain't even got to take the hoes out. If you take them old niggas out, and then if you don't pay them any attention, they gonna jump out bridges.
Oh, well, yeah. Like I tell guys all the time, I mean, the best way to get at a woman is not to give her attention. That shit hurts her more than anything you could ever fucking do. I mean, they can't. I mean, no, seriously, they can't take it.
They can't function without it.
Because in their mind,
for them.
It's life. It's water to them. It's like outright rejection if you don't give it to them. And women, we've already established, cannot take rejection. They just can't.
And see, this is why, in reference to old niggas, I'm not one that advocates for human violence and all, but as somebody who studies and have a penchant of liking history, this is why there needs to be World War III. Like there really needs to be another major global conflict. And I'm not saying a pandemic. Yeah, there needs to be another major global conflict, because there, at least in the Western society, there is an excess of men, both old and young, who are just useless. I mean, just plain out useless.
Yeah. And that goes across generations, because a couple of things will happen. If we actually had it hit the fan and there was a war, first of all, we get rid of a whole crap load of men. And that would put those women in a different frame of mind on who they gonna get with and how. Number two, you got to put it in a situation where these young men nowadays are soft as a motherfucker. Soft as a motherfucker. I don't care what nobody says about Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, whatever. No, they haven't had true hardship.
Yeah.
You, you,
Omega
you,
asks.
you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Omega asks. He asks himself, "What if this has happened before?" Hey, Omega Dreads. That's why Pearl Harbor happened.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why World War II happened. There
Yes,
was
sir.
an excess of men, and behind the scenes, of resources were being taken, limited, and that's where you got all the conflict that happened in World War II. Just saying.
Mhm. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, to add to that statement, you know there was an excess of men. If you look at the number of men that died during World War II, there's no way a country should have been sustainable after that.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that right there proves to you there was a massive excess of men, and that's not just in America, but in other locations as well.
Right.
A lot. That's a lot of bodies for soldiers, and yet every nation was still sustainable afterwards.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah.
I mean, come on, because usually with those numbers, man, the nation's done.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
especially,
because
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, especially after what happened to Japan and the nuclear
Yeah.
ramifications that happened afterwards,
Mhm.
Japan should not be surviving today.
Nope, should not.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to them? They should just now be starting to, be turning it around.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you take in consideration at the very least what most radioactive material has a 50-year half-life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was like what 1944 they dropped it?
45.
No, 45. So at least 50 years from there before they even got themselves back in order.
Well, the difference is,
You see what I'm saying?
the
Right.
difference though is, you know,
So we should just be getting to
Hiroshima.
know them.
You're correct. You're talking about a Chernobyl style nuclear event, but dropping, like an atom bomb like it, it's much different.
No.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
I'm not-
My bad.
I'm a science dude. I get that. I
Yeah.
get that. But still, nonetheless, you're talking about radiation that does still flow outward from the impact zone. So it's gonna either damage the DNA of the people who survived. It's gonna damage the DNA of their offspring. It's gonna damage the DNA of the ground, the plants, the vegetables, the animals you're eating. So at the very least, they should not have been coming out of it until 1995, and we should just now be getting to know them, because coming out of the damage area, 50-year half-life would be 95. 95 until now would be the time frame that they really started building up to be somewhat of an economic power. But you're talking about people who became an economic power in the 80s. That was way too soon for something like that.
And keep in mind, there's still parts of areas in Hiroshima and Nagasaki that's still radioactive. But
Say that one more time.
I was saying there's still parts in Hiroshima and Nagasaki that's still radioactive.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, but
yeah.
it's just to levels that human bodies can handle. Now, I mean, like I said, that's why I was just stating, about the Chernobyl style. That right there was so. That right there, the levels of it were way on a whole nother scale versus, just what happened to Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
As a matter of fact, we have the same problem here, because it's been more than 50 years, but we still having trouble with people who moved back to Love Canal in upstate New York, because they used to dump radioactive waste all in that area.
Yeah,
and then they people started having children born, abnormal, so everybody moved out. 50 something years went by, actually a little bit more. People tried to resettle out there in the 2010s, between 2010 and 2020, and the same shit started happening again. They abandoned it one more time. Now, that's way more than 50 years. So how does Japan do what it does in the 1980s from 1945?
Hey, they must have figured out something.
Yeah, I know, but you understand what I'm saying about.
No, I get what you're saying.
I mean that's weird. Nobody else has done that. Love Canal hasn't done it. Chernobyl hasn't done it. Only Japan.
You know what? I would attribute it to. Here we go with Sigma, their culture.
Oh, absolutely. But that still doesn't account for the radiation. But yeah, but I get what you're saying.
But I just think that I'm just saying, from what I've seen in research, how the radiation stays and holds is much different from from a plant style, from a power plant style or waste dumping deal, then versus just a quick bomb.
Well, no, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, it definitely does. There's no question to that. It definitely
I
does. But there's still enough. There's still enough left behind that it would make you question the other method as well.
I get what you're
I
saying.
yeah, I think exactly what Isaac said. Despite all of that, as far as the different radiations, the
Yeah,
Japanese as a whole were like, look, instead of the older men being like, well, back in my samurai days, we did this, we did that, and all that
Yeah,
stuff. They're like, you know what? Screw it all. We're gonna move forward. We're not gonna be pity about ourselves, and we're going to change around our economy. And they
yeah,
did
yeah.
collectively.
We gonna do what
So
we
to
gotta
me,
do.
yeah. So to me, it's just like, look, if you got a nation that had 2 nukes drop on them, and they still turn around and became, as of right now, the second largest economy in the world,
Mm.
what's your excuse?
no,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. I can't argue that because, like I said, no, like you said, regardless of which way you go with it on radiation or whatever have
yeah.
you may, it's just
The
like I said,
culture.
you cannot deny that culture came together. They
Yeah,
said, look, this is what happened. Whether we were right or wrong, don't make a fucking difference. But we got to fix this bitch right now. And everybody put on their big boy pants
yeah, yeah.
and got the shit done. And like I said, in less than what was it, 30 years?
Yeah, they
It's
changed the
about, yeah,
Around
economy
30.
from 45 to the 80s. That's roughly 30 years.
Yeah,
yeah, because like
35.
I
Yeah,
yeah, because
35, 40
35,
at the
40,
most.
yeah, 40 at the most. And I think it was the 35 because the early 80s, like I said, they came up in here buying everything in fucking California.
Mm.
Pebbles Beach and all. I mean, they went batshit crazy over this motherfucker in the 80s. They was buying everything. Yes, I mean
It's something.
everything.
It's something you mentioned because when I went to Oahu earlier this month, there were so many restaurants and signs that's in Japanese. I did not know that outside of Brazil, Hawaii has the second largest Japanese population outside of Japan.
Who has that?
Yeah, yeah, that
Hawaii?
would make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's always been the
yeah,
case.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's always been the case. That's
yeah,
that's that's not new.
yeah. Yeah. Now the stuff that I've seen, that's not surprising either. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. A lot of people sleep on Brazil and don't realize that. Yeah,
They do. But if I remember correctly, it's Japanese in Hawaii, and you'll find a lot of Chinese and Chinese mix in the Caribbean, especially Trinidad and Tobago.
mm.
Mm.
That was huge. And like I said, I learned that from Camille being married to her all those years.
Ah, understand.
So yeah, Chinese shit is big. I don't know what the fuck that's about,
Hey,
but
they're there.
well, because you got Chinese and then you got East Indians, and like when you interracial mix, they call them dougalers. I think she called them.
Ah.
You know, Yuri could probably speak on that more than I could for sure. Um, well, he's East Indian, so he
Yeah,
knows.
yeah, no, I get
But
it.
yeah, but as far as it goes for the Chinese thing, yeah, that's a lot of them over in Trinidad and Tobago. That was weird.
Well,
But
hey,
but anyway, we all agree old niggas need to be taken out.
yeah, they gotta go.
As a matter of fact, they're overdue. Um, Kind of makes me sad. Nah, you know what? I'm not even gonna put that out in the universe. I'm holding my tongue. No. It's just sometimes, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Sometimes it's best just not to, as much as you want to. Sometimes it's best just, nah. We gonna hold on to that one.
Yeah, you know
Oh,
what? I'm
I
on.
get it.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. Damn it! Last year didn't do his job with old niggas. There, I see it. I
That's
see
where
it.
I was going. I swear that's where I was
see it.
going.
I see
That's
it, damn it.
exactly where I was going. I was like, it didn't do enough. It didn't spread fast enough. We were promised it was taking out this particular age range. What happened?
Although it's starting to pick up around this time, there seems to be some fatalities in that area. But Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I didn't, sometimes you just, I didn't want to say it.
I'll say it. Damn it, I don't care. I'll say it.
Now, I'm not worried about people. I was thinking about the Most High. Sometimes, just keep your
Man,
mouth
look.
shut. So,
Look, I'll say it. Somebody got to.
I'll go back to what I said earlier. They need to be fridged. That's all I can tell you. That's all I got right now. They need to be fridged, and they're overdue for it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they're like spoiled meat, man. You got to throw them out.
Yeah.
And
I mean, just to show you a perfect example, I never forget when me and another brother was on a panel one time, and one of these old niggas came on, and we was talking about how me and my buddy, how we came up in environments that were diverse and whatnot. And this old nigga says, "Well, wouldn't you want to be around folks that came from the same struggle as you and have the same cultural background?" And without hesitating, it's like, look, the people that I associate with, both black and unblack, we have a lot in common. We don't have anything in common as far as cultural struggles.
Oh, see, I did that different. I did that.
I'm gonna do it different.
No, yeah, because I tell you what I did, and it wasn't good. I went to jail. No, for real, I went to jail.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm dead ass serious. I spent because it was on a Friday, so I ended up spending the entire weekend until Monday in the judge.
Okay.
Because somebody asked me that.
I mean, I couldn't reach through him through a screen. And
no. Somebody.
I would be tempted.
Oh, you had it happen, yeah.
No, I had it in my face. And I didn't even know the motherfucker. So he like, all right, so you mean like this? And then I punched the shit out of him. And he just looked at me. I said, because that's what our culture offers to each other, because of the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody called for and then I got arrested.
See me, I'm just gonna be like, hell no, I don't fuck with you niggas. No, I don't fuck with y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. It just like it.
But that's when I was younger, man, and I was just in that space because when that happened, I was like, what was that? Early 30s, I think I was, some shit like that. Late 20s, early 30s, some shit like that. And I just had that temperament. I just didn't have time for dumbass conversations. Yeah. So but it was a group of us. And like I said, I didn't even know the dude.
I can't afford to have that temperament because if I do, I'm not. I already know me.
You ain't gonna stop. You gonna go.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Somebody they're gonna have to call the ambulance and they're gonna have to call the police because I'm gonna get all of it. I won't. And they're gonna be in CCU for a few months. I'm gonna try and have them off. Look, I'm putting it like this. I'm putting it to you like this. I'm gonna beat them to the point they off in that chair like Christopher Reeves. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't want them to die.
Yes, sir.
I want them to wish that they had.
Yeah, you want them to remember. Yeah. I get you. I get it. I've had some of those fights too. But like I said, man, I just it's just the level of tolerance, man.
And God rest his soul. God rest his soul.
Yeah. Because like I said, it's the level of it. Because like I said, you're gonna get dumb questions, you're gonna get dumb comments, but I don't know. There's something about old niggas that when they talk to you like that, you can't help but get pissed because you know that what's coming out of their mouth is pure bullshit, and they know it.
Right.
They know it, so it just vexes you because it's not a genuine conversation. You're just being a dick now, and you're wasting my time.
Well, the thing is, you can't have you can have a genuine conversation with them, but you can only have it about one thing. What's good, Hope?
Yeah, but I can't do it, man. And we've all had this conversation, man. My days need to be filled with conversations of substance. I gotta have it. I cannot imagine every waking moment of my life being about chasing pussy. I can't imagine every waking moment of my life is trying to convince younger brothers to chase pussy. I can't imagine every single moment of my life being everything and anything but productive. I mean, I can't, and I can't grasp it. I can't grasp the concept of it. And sometimes I used to take moments when I tried to figure out or understand where they're coming from, but I would always pull back because my theory was there, but for the grace of God. You feel me? Because if I start thinking, if I can figure it out, then that means I'm starting to think like you. I'm not trying to have that either. I know it sounds stupid, but that's where my brain goes with it. I can't do it. I don't understand how they do it, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
So
No.
shalom, Hulk. I'm sorry.
What's going
Nah,
on,
you
Hope?
good, bro. What's going on, y'all? Good conversation, man. Y'all talking about the old Neros,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
and not and
This.
not and not, and not the ones of wisdom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
This is
Right.
anything but wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what
Mhm.
they say, man. It's nothing worse than an old fool, because
Nothing worse.
a young fool maybe can be, taught, corrected, you know, guided, but an old fool ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere. His time is done. No, seriously, his time is
Yeah.
done. His
Yeah,
time is
because
done.
they'll just double down in the foolishness, man,
Hmm.
and it's crazy. It's crazy, and if you go back in history, you can look at the old fools who are always trying to push victimhood. They're always trying to put tell men to tough it out in dysfunction, not remove themselves from dysfunction, but just tough it out.
Go through it anyway.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be a buffer. You're not supposed to realize that this is not a viable environment. You've got to tough it out. You got to go in here and you got to take the hits. I'm like, man, these people are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, man, it's
Yeah.
crazy, man. But I'm just piggybacking in the convo.
Yeah. You
Is it
good? You good?
any particular like when you're talking about old foods? Is it any particular like
Well,
specific?
well, I actually went into Proverbs and I went into 22. I did verse 1 and I went through 3 through 7 and and all the things I talked about are that over the verse I went through, they all show, well, okay, and I went to 29 too, but 7 and 29 show somebody uh somebody who in verse 6 does, how they train them up in the right way.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
all the others, they show pretty much what the foolish niggas do, the foolish old
yeah,
niggas do. And
yeah.
it's just about, everything is basis been over, them complaining about the
Hmm.
younger generation, but they nurtured the culture for it.
Yeah,
But
they
when you want to talk about culture, then it's like, well, fuck culture. But now he's saying fuck culture, but you want to complain about the young niggas you helped nurture to be there.
Well, let me put it this way. And y'all know I love music. Even though the music, even the old school music, it was very weak and effeminate. It
Yes.
was it was men begging and crying and putting themselves in weak positions, and it's very it's very non-masculine. And a lot of old, there is a old man out there, that is very productive, that very structured, and but it's very few. But the majority of the old generations are these guys that they just kind of like kept removing themselves from their position of authority and putting themselves in this beggarly complaining position, and like starting with the complaining about you know their race. And I hate this complaining about race, because I tell people the world has always been wicked. Always, since it turned away from the Most High, it fell into wickedness.
Yes, it's true.
And people forget that, like, the rulers of this world don't never were good or were on your side. So your only defense was your structured environment that you created. That was your only defense. It was never that I'm waiting for the government to do something for me. But the government is never going to be on your side.
Yep.
Jesus summed it up best whenever he had the one guy coming to him saying, good teacher, and he said, and he basically told him,
Yeah,
human beings aren't good in nature, essentially.
Yeah,
There's only one
why
good.
call us thou me good? There's only one good, and that is God.
Mhm.
And it's crazy because what he was saying, like he had not first revealed himself to these people because he wanted them to not trust in flesh because all they could see in him right now was flesh. He didn't want them to trust in no flesh.
Right.
Jeremiah 17:5 says, "Cursed is the man that trusts in a man and uses flesh as his arm." When people say trust me, trust is the absence of fruit, it's the absence of evidence. You're never supposed to trust in people. You're supposed to trust in the Most High because you have to discern the actions of a person according to the perfect standard of the Most High, according to His law. Like
Yep.
you don't trust nobody who's a thief or who's a proven liar, murderer, or whatever. You're supposed to trust and to discern the deeds of a person by the perfect standard of law. And people don't do that. They just
Yeah.
trust people because it's their brother, their mother, their father, their children. No. How are they living and how does that meet satisfy the standard of the Most High?
Well, that's one of the things I've always had trouble with my family when it came to that, because I always stood behind what the Most High said. Everything needs to be tested. Everything,
Yes. Yes.
everything, and everyone. And and just like you said, you always get the same thing. Yeah, but I'm your mother. But but
Yeah,
we're
because I got some
family.
gray hair. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
some
but
gray
we're
hair.
family,
Yeah,
yada
yeah,
yada
yeah.
yada, and y'all, everybody knows what I'm talking about because we all got it.
You,
Yeah.
There's not a single black person in this country who ain't never got that nonsense.
you know what?
Just because, you know what I mean. So yeah, nah, and that's why I don't get along with
You,
mine. I
you
test
know,
everything. So
when these clowns bring up their family word, you know what I say now? I'm like, no, no, they're my relatives.
Yeah, yeah.
I said,
that,
I'll
well,
tell
that's
them in a minute. I say, look, I can pick my family, I can't pick my relatives.
yeah. Well, yeah, because I told you that when we had that conversation after my mother's
Right.
funeral and all that. They're like, well, we're family. No, we're not. We're relatives. What are you talking about?
Well, let me tell you, because I have to always tell people the biblical Christ. The biblical Christ, when his disciples came and said, yeah, your brother and your mother are here. Do you know what he said? He said,
Yeah.
Who is my mother and my brethren, but those who do the will of my father? He
Mm.
Hmm.
didn't say bring them up. And here's the crazy part. They knew that. It was other people that were trying to usher them and give them importance. He said, look, if we're doing the will of my father, this is my family.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
and he and it's funny because you got to remind Negroes of the biblical Christ, not the uh
The TV
imagine
version.
yeah, not the imaginative version that people believe in their imagination that has no support of the Bible, that is coming from these lost church buildings, these unbiblical churches out here. Not that Joker, the
Well,
biblical Christ.
well, the thing is, whenever they talk about him, they always want to use love and compassion to excuse their fuckery.
And they don't even know what the Bible says that love is. Love is obeying the commandments of the Most High, and not seeing them as burdensome. That's
Well,
that's First John 5:3. This is the love of God that you obey His commandments, and they're not burdensome.
and also, love is also just wanting the best for others.
Yes, yeah,
Just
and
want to be now. They might not want the best for themselves. So if
You
Yeah.
what
know what?
you think is the best, hey, look, hey, you go ahead and have that. If
yeah,
that's
it's
what you think,
correction. It's correction.
You know
Yeah.
what? Omega just said it best in the chat. Love is discriminatory.
mm,
Now,
Yeah,
how hard is it to link up with individuals who want the same thing you want? And when I say that, when I hear some of these knuckleheads talk about, uh, uh, you know, worst of marriage and everything, okay, I get that. The system is not in place for you to be conducive like that. Really, marriage should not be governed by any
no,
type of government and everything. You
I
should
agree.
always strive.
definitely not a satanic government.
Exactly. You should always strive for, if you're going to do a matrimony, it should be based on culture first. But even that, how hard is it to find other like minded folks, women at that, who want the same thing you want? I mean, if you're telling me that all women are the same, and so to speak, they're nothing but devils, and don't get me wrong, in this environment, there's definitely some truth to that. But you mean to tell me this whole globe, you can't find like-minded folks who share the same compassion and want to be
Sigma Jones.
stabilized as
Well,
you.
that's not the
Wait, Sigma
problem.
Jones.
That's
Sigma
not the
Jones.
problem.
What? The whole globe, they out in your backyard. You ain't got to go no. Why you want to go over there?
Well, yeah, well,
I
yeah. I
guess
mean,
so.
But
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 but that's what I'm getting at. People want to make it seem like all this love you gotta be inclusive and all. Oh no, not at all. God
no,
Himself,
yeah,
God
but that,
Himself reserved His love for only certain groups of people,
that's
or
true.
certain groups of like-minded folks. He didn't give out His love for everybody.
That's true. But my thing is that I I think what men need to come to an understanding of now, and I'm just speaking here in this country at the moment.
right.
It's like I said before. Number one, you need to stop worrying about what women think.
Yes,
I mean that's the
yes,
first because like I said before, there's no more argument. There's no need to blame women anymore. There's no need to fight with them anymore. They told us everything we need to know. They don't
Yeah.
want us. We're dusty. I said this time and time again. The only thing that's required of us now is to do right by us. That's it.
hmm
That's it.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Get yourself productive. Get yourself on point. Get yourself balanced. And with any luck, once you get there, you can help the next brother who's worthy of it. Keyword worthy.
hmm
Who's worthy of it to do the same thing and pass that on as it's supposed to properly
Well,
be
you know
done.
what?
The
You know what?
problem,
Oh
the
my bad. I thought you
problem.
were done.
No, no, it's okay. The problem is that you worrying so much about what women think is the first mistake. The second thing is that yes, I agree, Sigma. I'm pretty sure there are women out there you could find like-minded who wants the same thing you want, which is productive, properly balanced, done marriages, relationships, etc., and so on. But I don't think the issue is about finding the woman. I think the issue is finding the proper culture and society
right.
because you're going to need that culture and society to keep both yourself and her in line on doing
Yeah.
things properly as meant by the Most High. Does that make
Right.
sense?
No, I'm
But
in 100
a
agreement with
lot
that.
of brothers not focusing on that. They just focusing on let me go find the pussy. That's
Yep.
literally all they're
Yeah.
thinking about.
Yep. And
No.
putting themselves in a ridiculous weak position
Right.
where they hold no accountability to how they're acting in that situation.
Hey.
Because
Oh my
his
bad.
because like when it comes to this, I tell people, and this is a harsh reality, and a lot of people can't handle this, but I'm going to say if we're not establishing a culture based on the Most High, that's pointless. What
Hmm.
kind of world? What kind of world is there worth living in if the world continues on the course it is? It's like, why would you want to have a family in this situation? Why would you want to even have a woman in this situation if you as a man has no cultural or legal authority? Like we have to see ourselves where we are right now as men. And this world is basically like we have bigger problems than worrying
Yeah.
about a woman. Like I'm just keeping it a buck. Like that's the last thing. Like if
Hey,
like I tell dudes if you and I know a lot of dudes it's not even about they hide like they want a family like it's about marriage, but these dudes are struggling for sex. Like they're just it's always a sexual access focus, and they conflate. Oh, I can't find no decent women. These dudes don't want to get married because that's a structure. These dudes don't even want structure. They
Wait. No.
just
Wait. No, I'm telling you what they want. They want to bow down.
yeah
They
that
want to,
Well,
cause
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I,
gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here and just say what somebody that said before. I'm gonna go with what Marco said. Look, worrying about how women think makes you a woman yourself.
correct.
yeah.
yep,
I agree.
Now,
Correct.
yep,
Correct.
yep,
It
now,
absolutely
if
does.
that's the
yep,
case, she might as well go ahead and be a lesbian and get with a real woman.
Yeah, because women
yep.
only
Mhm.
it's a woman's mindset to deal with her blending in and conforming to another person. That's a woman's place. A man is to establish the structure that he leads and has authority in, and it's basically to make sure he's doing what he needs to do and has the authority and environment to execute it. That's what men focus on. It's the woman trying to blend and conform herself to a man, and it's the fact that it's so many men out right now trying to find out like they're into this dating coach foolishness, like how to talk to a woman and how to get her to do something. That's weird.
Right. Right, but see, here's the funny part about that though, because everything you said is true, but there's another aspect, and it brings it back to culture again. They're mistaking culture with biology. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, I get you. I get you.
Because women who blend in and learn to come into a group and learn to change their attitudes and adapt and etc and so on, that is actually their biological function. That is
Exactly.
what they have used for century upon century for
Yeah.
survival.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell brothers, never get mad at that. That is a
Right.
biological function. You can't you
Perfectly
can't
said.
change you can't change that if you want to. It's just how we're built. Just like we have certain things that we have to do or we're driven to, which is being in a relationship, creating progeny, etc., and so on. However, we're called to be more logical about going about it. So that if you come across it, so if you sit within a society and 99% of what you have to choose from for that, you're supposed to be logical enough as a man to move out of that and go someplace else to find what's different.
Yeah.
Even scripture, you've seen that.
You know
I
what?
mean, yeah,
I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. To be real about it, these women have proven more logical and have a track record proving more
Oh
logical than men have
yes.
proved throughout human history.
wait, say that again. Wait, I missed that. Say that again.
I said these women
Uh-huh.
have proven to be more logical about their decisions than men have proven throughout human history. Now,
Okay.
the problem is that society as a whole suffers when women are logical because the only thing she care about is her own damn self. Yeah,
But
but
that
Yeah.
but that goes back to what you said. But that goes back to what you said earlier today. That when societies are built, there's no question that it's a beta model.
yes, I agree.
Right.
Because a society can't exist. As a matter of fact, that's one of the primary reasons. If you remember in scripture, the Most High was not a fan of building cities.
Yeah,
Nah. And what gets me, Lawrence, is you got old niggas right now that arguing the fact that throughout all of human history, only about 20 to 25% of all men was able to reproduce to the next generation. So, in essence, a lot of men are really not designed to pass on their genetics, pass on their genes.
True, that's true.
Yeah, but what's also a valid point is the fact that, like when you look at how how men and women are functioning now, like a lot of these guys, they, I think they have that female mindset. I think we have to focus on that. Men have the female mindset. They have no issue with just worrying about sex. Like I tell dudes, like the biggest issue is discipline and self-control because without the knowledge of the most high, you don't know how to guide and structure yourself. So you're just impulsive against like a feeling. And see, men are not ruled by a feeling. Like people think that because we talk this way, that sex was never something that we had to struggle against or, our desire to have a woman. That's not even the issue. That's standard for a man, but it does not rule us. And now we're so structured about it is that yeah, okay, we know what that's like. We've been there. Okay. That doesn't mean because we're telling men to not worry about women, it doesn't mean that we don't understand the desire that the guys are have, but why are you ruled by that? That's the issue. Why
okay.
haven't you like developed and structured yourself and built self-control? And because innately men, we are law guided people when we're right with the most high. Like we don't move according to our feelings, our flesh, or anything like that. And these guys, they bathe in it.
You know
All
what?
Yeah,
they all
yeah,
all they know how to think about is getting to the next pussy, getting to the next sex. Like I don't care, man. I know I got divorced 5 times, but I need to go get me another woman because I can't be home by myself.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like that's
that's
that's that's so weird. When are you going to get to the point where you're going to actually open your eyes and walk into actual manhood that where you're structured, you're disciplined,
Yeah.
you have self-control, you can think without trying to put pussy first.
You
And
know
I
what?
had I
you know
had
a
people
whole
come I had people come at me with that too. Because after no, I'm serious. After my divorce finished in October, I expected it from women, so that didn't surprise me. But I actually
Right.
had dudes come at me with that. So you get married again? You know, you
You
need to
know
have a
why?
woman in the house, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, are you serious?
You know
Twice is
why they?
enough, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
Lawrence, you know why they came at you? Because they're stupid. But go
Well, I
ahead,
know
Sigma.
that.
but
Yeah, I know
But
that.
no, you
but
don't get it. You don't get it. Sigma know what I'm talking about. But
yeah,
I'm gonna let it go.
but
Well, break it
but
down for me. Break it down for me.
we got a stream coming up next year where me and Isaac will be talking about something a book he shared with me like that
Yeah.
that deserves its own stream. But to get back to what Hawk was saying, I find it amazing that you have knuckleheads that will take advice from a guy, an old nigga,
Hmm.
who has been married 4 times and think that he knows everything about life versus an individual who have only been married 1 time but has been married for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And even they will tell you, you know what? If this marriage don't work out, I'm not marrying it again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. We can all learn from our experiences, but see, only the wise man will tell you, look, bro, just take it from I'm gonna share my experience. Like you said, we don't have the culture. Men are not being like we're indoctrinated. As we can all be honest, to a degree, all boys when they're young are indoctrinated into this world that only revolves around women. And so when we grow up, we have to like grow out of that. We have to change our whole mindset to understand that we've been indoctrinated, we've been deceived into almost only thinking about women.
Mhm.
Um.
And and we're not realizing that that's not our function under the Most High is to worry about women.
You know.
The woman was a help, even if you look at imperfection before sin into the world. Because I tell people when the Most High said it is not good for a man to be alone, the world was perfect. Sin had
Mhm.
not yet entered the world.
Mhm.
But once sin entered that world, the woman was in transgression and got them kicked out of the garden and put into death. They had to
Mhm.
die. They had to leave. They were no longer in perfection. The woman had transgressed and was deceived.
As a
And so
matter of,
now,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go
now
ahead.
you good, bro.
No,
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 you
I'm
got it.
sorry. Oh no, I was going to add to what you said because, as a matter of fact, after they got kicked out, well, right before they got kicked out, that's why he put the curses on each one of
Yep.
them the way he did, because now what should have been done naturally in the perfect world, he had to make it part of a curse to make it work.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's 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 why women were told that they should only burn for their husbands and etc. and so on. He
And
had
the
to
man will rule over you.
right. Yeah, I mean, he had to tell them where before it just happened naturally. But
Hold on.
once sin was introduced, he had to change the parameters.
Hold on. This is what
Mhm.
I gotta address this right here.
What?
Cool just said it used to be death do us till death do us part. Now it's death till death dislike do us part with this new generation. Look, this divorce thing ain't being held up by the new generation.
It is
It's these
not.
old folks that's
My
been
gen
married and
my
divorced three
generation
or four, 5 years.
my generation
Yes,
started this. We're the
yes,
ones who passed the laws for no fault divorce, Roe versus Wade. I gotta take the hit for that.
yeah,
That was
Yeah.
my generation.
And
I
look,
mean, I
and
know I'm being real.
yeah, I
I'm, I'm,
know,
I'm,
I
I'm
know.
being real, man.
and
That was
also
that was the 1970s, bro. That's me. All day, every day.
and also, if you think about the curses that, and I remind people the curse that God gave Adam. He said, first you ate of the tree I commanded you not to eat, but the second one is because you listened to your woman. I
Hmm.
have to remind people, yes, the Most High said that Adam he hearkened to his woman. He listened to her, and understand that listening in the context, especially how women mean it, they mean to obey.
Yep. That is correct. That is correct.
Like,
That is correct.
we've all been in a situation, and when a woman says you're not listening to me, she doesn't mean that you don't hear what she's saying, because you can usually
You're
repeat what
not
she
doing what
said.
I tell you.
You're just not obeying her. And
Yes.
see, men have now grown up to just obey what a woman's telling them. Woman, most men are not even seeking to get married. They're just doing it because a woman asked them to
You know what?
or commanded
Right.
them to.
Yeah, I was gonna say pressure them. Yeah,
You
she
know
didn't. She
what?
never asks. She
You know
pressures.
what? When
So
going off, but what both of you have said, earlier Lawrence brought up about this generation of weak men, generations.
mhm.
Let's do that. And then
Right.
of what you went to, um, here's the thing: the culture is the fact that the culture now is men are not supposed to know about power.
No, we're not.
and
At least from their, at least from their perspective.
and if you do, it's toxic. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can just see women understand power better than men do.
Yeah,
Because
that's why they lure men into situations that where they don't walk in it.
well, here's the thing. From the first moment they got to vote, I mean, even before that, you got to think who started that whole process. Wealthy white women. They had everything. So if they got everything they could materialistically want, what's the only thing she's going for?
Being free, being
Power.
under the authority. Yeah, being under the authority of a man so she can walk in her own authority.
Exactly. Power. So, and just to show you how they were moving, after they got the vote, what's the next thing they done? The next thing they done was their tender years doctrine, their tender years law. Now, you know, of course, as Zero said, you know, all of that's done, you know, it's not that anymore. It's best interest of the child. So, but right after that, the next thing they did in the 40s, what did they do? No property rights on marriage.
That is correct.
First two moves they made was to attack the family itself.
Yeah, because here's if you look, you go back to King Ahab and Jezebel.
I was just thinking about them.
King Ahab was a king, and this woman used her female wiles to control this man, to control his kingdom. Like that tells you that what happens when a man is weak. You're never supposed to listen to a woman or even allow her to be able to influence what you know is your role and your purpose. She is not to have any influence in that. And men now, they struggle with the fact that it's hard for them to understand a man living without waiting for a woman to influence them. Like they don't understand. Like even if you have a woman around you, why is she influencing what you do? Your orders come directly from the Most High. You know what your purpose is. You don't need to confide in her. You don't need to ask her. You don't need to do anything. You can.
You know, I got to address something here. What Cool just said. You know, most are going to die alone, especially in Babylon, America. Here's the problem I have with these gaslighting comments. You know, because I've had that happen when somebody said to me here these past few days, "Well, you gonna die alone?" I said, you know, my response is, and sounds like heaven to me. But here's the thing: everybody die alone. Don't nobody die together unless they go through it together, or it's just some kind of mass accident that happens. You know, people trapped in a building when a doggone earthquake happened and all that. You know, people die. Creatures,
everybody and everything.
And let's not forget that if you're in a miserable marriage, if you don't divorce, there are many people who feel alone in a marriage.
Yes,
they're alone.
Actually, alone. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Hulk. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say they're alone in a marriage, or when you get into a I don't even like using the word marriage, because I think a marriage only exists when a man has legal and cultural authority in his family. And I just don't like to think we can use a design outside of the design of the Most High. I know that's what the world calls it, but the world also calls LGBT situations a marriage. So we got to disqualify this, because, you know, it's a word, because to me it's just you're contracted with the state. But when you get into these situations, most are going to die alone, even if they have a woman in the house. That doesn't mean that you're going to have a woman who's going to just take care of you into your dying breath. I mean, come on now. It's plenty that those days are done. That's like, and they were few and far between when they happened, and that was probably 1,000 years ago.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
I mean, we've already established, at least in this country, look, the two most miserable people in this country are women who claim they don't need a man, but they know they're off because they're not fulfilling their proper function. And you can see it by the number of them that are on psychotropic medications, etc., and so on.
Mm-hmm.
The second most unhappy people, and people always end up being surprised about this, are a vast majority of people who are married because they're
Completely
because
miserable.
yeah, they're completely because they're stuck there in a loveless marriage. They're stuck there because they can't get out, especially for men, because they know to get out means losing everything. I mean, and then there's women who claim that I made this choice, but I didn't really want him, blah, blah, blah. It's all
Wait,
that crap.
Lawrence. Wait, Lawrence. Hey, look. You
Yeah.
said to get out means they know they lose everything. That ain't the one thing they worried about losing. These niggas are worried about losing in-house pussy. I gotta be zero and say it.
No, 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 no. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. I'm just talking from the basic, the most basic foundation. I mean, because you could always get rid of that and then go get new in-house pussy. You
But
feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
And not
Lawrence,
just
it's too
that, and not
hard.
just that, and not just that. The situations in my life where I took major losses were the most beneficial to me growing. So
I would agree.
and me to resetting, because sometimes you have to clear the board and
Yep.
realize that you've been indoctrinated and programmed. And when you come out of that, it's often going to come at a loss, but that's to refine your mind and your spirit that you can walk now new, because you can't bring old ideology, old thinking into a new walk, a new life.
You
And
yeah,
people
you
don't get that. Like sometimes it's good that the Most High allows you to clear the board, and you have to work brick by brick from the building a new foundation. Because when you carry some of that old foundation into a new life, it's you're gonna realize you're still walking on sand.
well, that's the thing. You gotta lose in order to gain something.
Yeah.
You got
And
to.
and people and see that's the issue with men are not men anymore, because adversity used to build men. Adversity and suffering used to be the catalyst that actually drew out a man's true potential and his true understanding of why being structured and why being ordered, self-controlled, and wise had value. Now men are afraid to suffer. They're afraid. They rather stay miserable with it. What does the Bible say? It's better to be on the housetop than be in a house with a quarrelsome woman. They rather
Mhm.
It,
be in the house and to the point of suicide. Men,
Yeah.
married people are killing themselves. Married men are killing themselves.
Yes.
man, you know what? Men are not men anymore because they have no interest in obtaining power. They don't want power. So if they don't want it, you doggone it, your opposition surely wants it. And women
A-
are the natural biological opposition to men.
And the first rule of power is to structure yourself, to control yourself.
But
Yep.
You can't even, unless you get past that and you're structuring yourself by the law of the Most High to not be deceived by your own lust, your own ego, because women use all those vices against men. It's like Jezebel. What did she use to get a king to do her bidding? If you're not mastering the weakness, mastering yourself to mitigate your own weaknesses and your own evils, then you don't even have the first rung in the ladder to power.
I would say the first rule to power is that power is exclusive, not inclusive.
Hmm.
Um, which was shown whenever David was anointed, because as soon as he was anointed, the power that had been given to Saul left him. And I would say that the second rule to power is that power is taken; it's never given.
Yeah, it's taken, and often it's power is not going to come for men. It's not going to come at the convenience of you being in a traditional system. Like you gonna
Yeah,
have to
not
have
now.
you gonna have to have untraditional means to make sure that you don't have any strings on you, that you're not leveraged, or you're not having any kind of side things in your mind like, well, I can't do this because I'm afraid of losing this. I'm afraid of this inconvenience. Just you have to keep yourself structured in a way where nothing, and I tell men, like, if you live your life where nothing a woman says, does, will ever have any influence in your life, then you're moving in the right path. If you realize that don't ever bank on somebody who has a choice to do wrong, to
Mm.
give them the power to influence, because people have choices. And even when it comes to your family, your wife or whoever, this is why men have to learn how to be alone first. Until you're able to be alone with the
Yeah.
Most High, then if you cannot be alone with Most High, then don't even try to think about anything else.
That is
Because
correct.
if it's your family, if it's your wife, and you needy, dependent, you whiny about what they're not doing, then shut up, sit down, and just call yourself a woman.
Yep. And that's
Right.
because that's
Yep.
one of the main problems I had with my family growing up. They could not understand why I always stayed by myself. They could not understand it. They couldn't grasp the concept, and they gave me hell
You,
for it.
you know
Yeah.
what?
Signal.
The one of the guys I interviewed earlier this year, brother Sensei Takai,
Mm.
he said in the interview, if you don't know how to come to terms with death, and when he said that, it also in reference to being alone, you you pretty much said it in a nice way, but in a way it was saying you pretty much worthless.
Yeah.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like I said, I learned that
Right.
when I was a kid, man. I mean, let the dead worry about the dead. I mean, I
You can't
don't.
do anything about him for you can't do anything for him anyway.
Well,
So
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. I
But
mean,
but he was
yeah.
saying in terms of if you can't learn how to master yourself and being able to function in society on your own,
yeah,
you're worthless.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was a good it was a good interview that you and Kirigake had with him. It was a great stream, and to kind of I guess piggyback out off something here that you talked about on your channel. Uh, I'm going to the World War II room for this one since I brought up power. when whenever protesting, uh marches, anything like that you doing, riding, doing all of that without power is begging.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
begging and it gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I pointed out, Isaac, um, you look at Hitler, you look at El Duce, Stalin, you look at all these guys, and what they have in common is they understood from the get go power is not given. Even
Yep.
if they have to manipulate circumstances and their environments to get to where they need to go, they did it.
And
Yeah.
everybody's sacrificial in the process.
Exactly.
And women work just like that. And that's the thing that a lot of dudes don't understand. Male dudes don't understand is that manipulation is power. It's a power in the sense of knowing how to get people to feel and move emotionally uh, in the way that you want them to, but it's still power. Uh,
Hmm.
and because women can't physically take power from you, their only option to, I mean, and their most favorite option is to is to
Manipulate.
manipulate you mentally and emotionally,
Hmm.
and and it's stupid as a man to play somebody else's game and think you're gonna win.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Right? That's
This
true.
is
Yeah.
true.
And like you said, man, this is just a problem with men and this those weakness. I'll always say, I like Lauren said, women are going to be women. That's just who they are. And see, the issue is the women have always been the way they are. It's just that men have never been this weak and this the way men are ever. See,
Complacent.
because these dudes are thinking they're waiting for women to change. Women not going to change, man. That not they're not going to change. Like that's how. Remember, it was even biblically, it was Eve who was deceived and walked into transgression. It's like they're never going to be who they are. The question is, men are the ones who are supposed to not be weak and beggarly and just keep placing themselves in positions where they're dependent on anyone else but the Most High. That's see, men have this. We only depend on the Most High. Once you understand that, you don't your family, your a woman, your whatever. That none of that is of any consequence. Because the moment, see, because then once you focus on the Most High, you know how to live uncompromised, and you know how to structure yourself where you're not compromising. And the more, and you're supposed to grow in that. It's supposed to become more pervasive in your life to move this way. So even though we started off as boys thinking that, the highest order was go get married, it was weird that women in the families were telling boys to not to go get a job and get a career when they were young. Go get married. Go get married. And now it's a lot of people out here chasing women and don't even have a way to survive. Don't even are not even productive to survive on their own, to live structured. Like if you don't even have the means in your life to live to support yourself alone, then why are you even seeking a woman?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
most men can't even support themselves alone.
yeah.
They're looking for a partner in a woman. That's not how you're supposed to do. A
That
partner is
nuh-uh. I don't think they looking for a partner. I'm telling you. They
in
look.
house.
They want that woman is their master.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, you.
want
Yeah.
to be
Thank you. Yeah,
enslaved.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I
I
mean,
stand corrected. They want to be.
the,
They want. They love a woman ordering them around. They like. It's like they're looking for mama.
look at it this way to summarize that and to show you just how backwards a lot of these guys think. They rather move in. Well, actually, let me back up. Of all the programs that's available, as far as being able to own property and own land, they much rather move in with a female than to actually have their own place.
Yes,
That's
I've seen
sad.
that.
That's sad.
I've seen that, and I've heard men. I've heard other so-called men explain why they do that, and I cannot grasp the concept
Hey,
Yeah.
look,
No.
I'm gonna
because
tell you
because
why.
because because from what they explained to me, it's just that a lot of the programs and all the other stuff that's available out there for people to have access to are predominantly for women. So they use their women, yada yada yada. She's the one who can get the food stamps. I can't. So
That's
from everything I've heard all that, and it's just insane.
yeah.
I'm gonna simplify it. It's because that's what she wants for her to maintain power.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
absolutely.
Yeah,
And if
but
they
that's
don't
what I'm
have
getting at.
access to her,
They much rather have her be the power. They much
Yes.
rather her be the head of the family than to actually be like, you know what, this is not for me. I rather go it alone. Like Hulk said, they're
Now,
afraid to be alone.
here's the horror of that, and I don't use that word lightly. I'm being dead ass serious. No, seriously.
I know you are, but it's still.
Here's the horror of everything the four of us just said in the space of a minute. We have so-called men who have recused themselves from responsibility and accountability.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
is the true horror of everything we just said in 60 seconds.
Yeah, they don't
And
they
a
don't
lot,
want to take the responsibility of just
yeah,
being structured and being sufficient, self-sufficient on their own. Because here's the thing, even in the ideal environment, even if we had the society and culture and legal system, men are supposed to go out and survive as adults on their own, functional first before they even think about anything else. Before you think about a family, you're supposed to already have your home. You're supposed to already have these things. You're not supposed to go out and find some woman to build these things for you.
I have much respect for a guy who have his own place, but he's not the family guy, has no intentions of being a family, than a guy who living under a woman with nothing to his name. Sorry, I
Yeah.
just don't have that
no,
respect.
I hear you. I
Hey,
hear you.
and I'm gonna tell you, there's a reason why I was laughing, Lawrence, because of what you said. I just knew where you were going with it. It is so, oh my goodness,
Let
it
me
is so funny.
I can help you. Let me help you out here. Let me tell you this. A lot of men, the reason that they're always talking about dating, coaching, and all this nonsense, because they're in a hostage situation with the female. Like, it's
Yeah.
no way that a man who, like myself, I live alone. I have my own spot, and I control everything in this house. So no, nothing comes in here and happens in my home. It's not what I want. And only men who don't have that situation, who have to negotiate with the female in their home, want you to go out and think about what they think. There's no way that you can have your own house and you care 1 iota what a female has to think or do, because she doesn't. It's not her house. She has no responsibility here. So why does you care about what she thinks?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, that's not. I'm gonna tell you what was funny about it to me, because when you brought up that whole accountability aspect, but even though she they master, that bra still gonna hold them niggas accountable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they
Even though you
and
ain't got no
Eisen
power.
and
Absolutely.
Eisen,
It's
they
all your
are
fault.
yeah, and Eisen, they are too stupid to even see it.
Yep. And that's the point I was trying to make about the horror of it. Because look, look, if you ignore anything else we've said since we've been up here, but you just take that minute, that 60 seconds, we all said our little piece about that, and then you take what I said about the heart, and just let that sink in your head for an hour or two. Just let your brain roll around it a little bit. Yeah, we are screwed.
Hey,
I mean, look, I don't care if it's a war. I don't care if we're being invaded. I don't care if an economic collapse, whatever it's going to be, we are screwed.
hey,
Not we personally, but I'm just saying
The society.
yeah.
that's how many people we are going to have to fight ourselves. Because
Hey,
for
look.
every one of us, there's about 5,000 of them.
Just look at what they're begging about now. They're begging for women to come back to the table, and they're not begging for men to do anything.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
watch
it's
this,
crazy.
though. It just
And what
to show
what
you,
is the table?
it just them, the women, just to show you.
Well, like I said before, you look at me and Sigma, we don't use tables, we sit on the floor. So
Hey, here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. It just to show you that society hold me accountable. She gonna hold you accountable. After she screw you over, what's the next thing she gonna say? Who told you to trust me?
yep,
Wow.
That's
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they've done that.
Hey, this is why I said what I said on last Friday. At this point in age, with all this information available, with everything that's going on right before your eyes, if you just go outside and just observe the world, if you can't comprehend and understand what you need to do to circumvent the issues going on in your life and actually make the right choices, and you're past the age of 20, I'm sorry. I have no high expectations from you going forward.
Yeah,
It's pathetic, man. And it's pathetic because this is all people thinking about. This is like, even in the state of the world right now, even with everything going around, all people can think about is like how to get a date, how to get a woman to sleep with you. Like this is the most pervasive topics, at least from a social media aspect. Even where the world is right now, this is what people are thinking about. They're not thinking about like maybe I need to, men need to be more minded in entrepreneurship or not. No, it's get a date. Get how to talk a woman into sex. It's
Hey,
like
and you were saying, about the social media aspect. Dog on that, it goes deep. That is the culture, period, off of off of social media. That is the culture of these old niggas, period. That's the first thing they gonna do.
I'm gonna tell you what a black guy I'm working with right now on a home, what he shared with me. Here's like one thing I've noticed 15 years working in real estate. The biggest discrepancy between black men and all other race of men here in America, they don't want to own property.
yep.
that is sad. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Yo, all kidding aside, Yuri and I have had that conversation. Yuri's not from America. My ex-wife Camille and I have talked about that for 26 years. She's not from America. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees
Man.
it. Everybody
Yeah.
who's not American sees it. The only people who don't see it are the very black men we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, man, I tell people like that's why they don't mind bringing, going into partnership with in the debt with females, because they rather, like, it's a lot of guys living in apartments with a woman, and they just rather just throw money away with the female who can easily walk away from them and leave them with nothing, no investment, no equity, nothing going on. They just throwing money away. But like you say, Eisen, all they care about is having that female in there, even though she can walk away, leave them hanging, because if you needed her to get the place, then you can't hold it by yourself.
Oh,
So
she ain't walking away. She kicking them out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm about to say,
There you go.
she's the one that has the name on everything.
Yeah,
All
And
she
you
got to do
you
is
know
say,
what's scary?
go.
You know what's scary? I can't. Y'all right, but this is so weak minded until I keep forgetting that people are doing this. This
Yeah.
is insane. Like I'm assuming wrong, because I'm thinking that men actually are in a position of more,
Of power.
control. Exactly. And I have to remember. You have to remind me that, oh, that's right. This is her place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's her. It's her place. It's her car. It's her bank account. It's her TV, her sofa, her bedroom set. All of it's hers. All of it.
Yeah.
I'll put it like this, and Eisen heard the same thing. You've had women that have told these knuckleheads on this platform, not Eisen's,
Not this platform,
but
but
YouTube, that if you want us to take you seriously, you have to. You have to walk away. And what was their unanimous response?
no,
We can't do
we
it.
can't do
Yep.
it.
We can't
What?
do that.
We
We
can't
can't
do
do
it.
that. Yep.
Are
I've
you
even,
serious?
I swear,
I'm serious.
look,
Yeah, yeah.
I've
Yes.
even had one be like, after all that she done, and then go in another stream. What's the solution? I said, she just told you, leave him
Mhm.
alone. Well,
Mhm.
but it's some of us can't do that. So
Mhm.
me, being the bad guy I am, I say, bow down then,
Yeah.
Mhm.
bow down.
And I hate to say this to you, Hulk, but that's happened on multiple channels.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That
And
kind
believe me, this
that
this
kind
is what it. Oh, go ahead, Lars. Go ahead.
that conversation and those answers have happened on multiple channels. It's not
And
just
these
one
are
place.
and these are not just your, so to speak, the low level
They
dudes that
household
got
names
nothing
is
going.
nigga too.
Yes, the educated lames, the so called high value men, they all said the same thing.
Yeah.
The high value man, the PhDs, the real estate dudes,
And I have
yeah.
to qualify that term. They're not high value men. They're high value for women.
Well, yeah,
High,
true.
high value
That's true.
licks. High value
Yeah,
licks.
high value licks.
Yeah, but
There you
that,
go.
yeah,
Because I
but
hate
that,
that. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I hate that term because it doesn't have any kind of definition of manhood.
oh, it
So
Right.
I don't.
doesn't.
I hate even qualifying that as men. When you live, when you only do what you do in life for a woman, I don't think you have nothing, no
Hey,
manhood about you.
hey, look, you just
No,
hey look.
agreed.
Doing that right there, you just set yourself up for Brittany Renner to come on in and take everything. What?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, look, I know these dudes out here when they want to talk like this, but if you're only doing things in life because you're trying to attract a woman who is not even thinking about you unless you're offering her the world, like that's the lowest level of thinking that you can do because you're now catering to a woman. You're not even thinking about building or adding anything to society. And actually, because honestly, men are not even supposed to be thinking about what women are doing. Like it's not even a thing. Like when men are actually doing what we're supposed to do, like women are like afterthoughts. They're always there. They're always there. You don't think about them. You don't prioritize them. They're always there. And it's like the fact that women know that men prioritize them, they can't start worshiping them, fantasizing them. It's like this is why men like us have to just keep moving forward, and we can't think about what women are doing or saying because we can't. Because unfortunately, the world of men out here, they only think about that. This is worship. They only
Well,
do anything like they only want to talk about their high value, not because of what they're offering in society, because they think that they can take some legally empowered prostitute and make her pretend to care about them.
well, I think
Uh, go ahead, Lawrence.
no. You go first. You go first.
I was gonna say Snuggles' comment: "Alpha men do not bow down." Isn't that what you all fight about in your conversation on YouTube? That's the boyish fear.
Yeah.
Cause I don't talk about that. I have no need of all those type of conversations.
Yep.
That's that sector.
And,
So you
And
might
and,
want to
and not
ask
just that,
ask them
and
that.
not just
brings
that,
which
we're
brings
not even thinking about bowing down because we're not in a situation where they're even relevant.
well, yeah.
which brings me to the comment that I was going to make. Here's the difference between us and a lot of the other men. Both sides try to play the game where we don't think about women. What they fail to understand is that with us over here, we don't just not think about women, we don't care about women.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not.
hey,
That's
And
not
there's
important.
and I think that's a little bit of a difference between us and them. Oh, they'll sit there and like, I ain't trying to think about her, yada yada yada. But you do care about what she thinks. See,
Yeah,
we don't care over here. We
not at
don't.
all. Not at
we,
all.
hey,
we
And it
don't.
has nothing. It has nothing to do with our ability to attract them. It has
No,
nothing
not
to
at
do with
all.
our ability to, like we have mastered our. We're not controlled by lust. And trust me, a lot of us we're probably more masculine. Well, we definitely are more masculine than any of these guys. but we're just not controlled because we have refined ourselves over our years. We have learned from objective reality, from we have we have structured ourselves in the most high, and we're just not weakened by such things like lust and just like it's like greed too. Like if you notice that when you have greed and you're not led by wisdom, what happens? Well, we see a lot of Hollywood entertainers. What do they do for money? They become LGBT for money. You can sell
Yeah, they
out.
do.
Yep,
You can sell
they
out.
do.
They promote
Yeah.
feminism. They promote LGBT for money. So even greed alone, without wisdom and structure, you'll do anything. You'll
Hey, you know
become
what?
LGBT.
I mean, people who've been in the business 30, 40 years, all of a sudden they LGBT.
Hey,
Where the hell
now,
did that come
hey,
from?
now
I
I'm
was
gonna tell
like,
you
yo,
on that end now promoting that rainbow. Hey, it ain't just about money. That's about power.
yes, it
Because
is.
here
Yep.
is the thing. Who is it them women can't come for? If they come for them, that's hate speech.
That's right.
They can't do nothing about that.
Yep.
That is about power. That is about saving this market that they have built their identity around. It's about saving their whole identity. It
Let
ain't
me
just about
let
it's
me
about
tell you.
saving
I'm gonna say something
everything.
controversial on YouTube. The men have sold out to feminism more than the women.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
old
yeah,
news right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
old news.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
old.
Hulk, to keep it a buck, you got dudes in the chats that
Yes.
much rather go to the females channels than actually spend time over on productive males channels. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
They
the
get over there.
men have now seen because the world promotes fit because the world the is politically correct to be to think about women 100% of the time that now men have they only think they can make money catering and pandering to females. That's the only way they think they can make money. It's like they'll sell out like who cares if I gotta and they want to ignore all the obvious things like men just all of a sudden being effeminate, being weak, complaining and beggarly about women, trying to invite prostitutes into your life, thinking that if you have enough money, it will change a woman who's openly a prostitute. And like these dudes, I mean, the fact that, and I know people don't like when you talk about when you question their idols or their godfathers and master teachers and all this other foolishness.
YouTube
Uh-oh.
daddies.
Mhm.
But but it's weird because like that actually just proves our point. Like if you want to go back to that guy who talked about the Brittany Winter, why even care about a hoe? Why even want to talk to her? And see, but this is what it is. It's selling out the feminism. That's what
Yeah.
mainstream does.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mainstream go get
Cause
a hoe and ask her, why are you a hoe?
yeah,
Why?
because I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, because the Brittany Renner thing is twofold. On because the first part is everything you just said. Who cares? She's just a broad. Who cares? And on the flip side of that, I'm with new. It's like, yo, that's a celebrity, man. That reality don't even come close to what the fuck I'm living. So who cares?
well,
Yeah.
here's the other thing about that too. Hey, hey, it was look, niggas like that. They want, like I said, that identity shit is everything. So they want a whole nother set of people to broadcast their identity to. But that shit a double-edged sword. Cause all that shit did was open it up. All it did was open her up to a new set of banks to heist.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But I will say this though. I will say this. Even with all that you just said and everything we've talked about, I know this. I know this as a fact, and this is a comfort thing for me. No bullshit. I'm I find comfort in the fact that I'm not here alone.
Oh
You
no.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For all the idiots who want to chase a Britney winner, for everybody wants to do the sell out for LGBT, for everybody who wants to bow down and worship the female as a god, or you know what, we can talk about all. My only comfort, one, right out the gate, is the Most High. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
After that, the fact that he brought me people to let me know you're not alone. You're
Nah,
not
nah.
alone, Lawrence.
No,
You know
you're
what?
not.
You know what I'm saying? You're not out here by yourself, brother. Trust and believe that I got you. I got you, and I got people for you. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Here's the thing, Lawrence, and I know Hulk, you'll agree with this too. the very first commandment God gave is thou shalt have no other gods before me.
That's
Exactly.
true. That's correct. That
It's
is correct.
very obvious, and we see it all throughout YouTube, but it's especially obvious on Black YouTube. A lot of these guys live vicariously online.
True.
Like they, rather than going
Yeah.
out there and being men and creating your own reality and you know making life what you want it to be, they would rather spend all day on the phone, on a computer, on TV, watching others and thinking that their life that they're seeing online is somehow their life too. That's idol worshiping.
Well, and that too, that goes hand in hand with whenever I read Matthew 6:24 about no one no one can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You
Right.
cannot serve God and mammon, and all mammon is anything that you value more than the Lord.
Hmm.
And here's the thing about that. Hey, that include them hoes.
Well, but it's supposed to be everything. I mean, even what I said a minute ago with the fact of realizing I'm not out here by myself. I got you guys. I got a couple other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we all have enough common sense to be aware as men, thinking men, spiritual men, that whatever we may build with each other still does not come above the Most High. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
And,
There's you know what I'm saying? It's I want to say it's common sense.
common sense ain't common. I got
Yeah,
full of
well,
news
yeah,
for
that's
you.
true. Yeah,
I got full of news for you.
as
It
you-
ain't common.
yeah.
And to address earlier, I didn't get to say, but Jay Wolf was right concerning Snuggles' comment. Look, that's the thing.
Oh, I didn't see what he wrote.
Yeah, I put it up. I thought Alpha.
Oh, I
don't
thought
exist
Alpha
in
don't. Oh,
society.
yeah, I saw that. I
It
saw
don't. That's the thing. Society is a beta concept. Unless you were one of them mountain men living with your little family up on the mountain, living it out life that way, you ain't alpha. You off in one of them tribes out in the wilderness, you ain't alpha.
and I don't even think that fits Alpha. Wouldn't that
Well,
fall
I mean,
more?
small tribes. I mean,
But wouldn't
I
that
mean,
fall more into Sigma or something like that? I
well,
don't
I'm
know.
just saying.
They keep
Yeah, but
coming
I'm
up
just
with
saying it
these
ain't
Yeah.
names,
alpha.
but I don't.
It's not alpha though.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
like to what Isaac was saying, when you look at society, the so-called alphas. Here's the main thing too. The whole concept of alpha and beta. You do realize those two concepts still require external validation.
That's correct. That is
Yeah.
correct. That's why I
Like,
said
to be-
That's why I said Sigma, because to my knowledge, Sigma doesn't require outside validation.
Exactly. So
Okay.
when I hear these knuckleheads talk about, oh, I'm alpha or that person's a beta and everything, it's like, you do realize, dude, y'all both one and the same. Because you calling yourself alpha, you calling somebody beta, is essentially saying you can't live life without others. You can't live life without being validated by others.
I go you
So-
one better. The way I look at it now between alpha and beta, there is no difference between either one of them because they both have to survive off the need of pussy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Alphas
There
have
it
to go.
is.
Alpha has to go after it to prove their worth. Betas have to go after
Wait,
it
let
to
me-
prove their worth by whatever it is. Both of them at the end of the day require validation through in-house pussy.
Wait,
Period.
hold on. I'm gonna clean it up for you.
Fair
I'm gonna
enough.
clean it up. Not so much pussy, just the idea of the possibility of access to it. 'Cause let's
Yep.
be real, most
Yep.
of them ain't getting it.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take
true.
that. Yeah, thank you
That's
for that
true.
cleanup. I'll take that. But bottom line is that their entire existence is founded on the concept, idea, whatever it is of pussy. Period. So that's why I don't like doing the alpha beta thing because they both are working on the same foundation. So who cares? What's the difference? One's taller and the other one's not. One might have more resources, the other one not. But they're all doing it for the same reason, pussy. So I don't care about them. I don't want to be associated with them. Unless I'm reading that wrong, but that's how I see it.
No, you're absolutely correct. That's why I said like these, and that shows you right then and there. These guys don't actually study world. as far as like the Most High, but even just studying
Anything.
anything of the world, because even the scripture says the world has more common sense than the church.
Yeah, it did. It did say that. I
No,
forgot.
you didn't do that one,
Yeah.
Sigma.
I forgot
Doggone
about
it.
that one.
I mean,
I
I'm
forgot
just being
about that.
honest. So it's like when I hear these dudes talk about, yeah, man, I'm so alpha, I'm so beta. It's like, so you telling me your whole life is based on validation? Like you have no sense of self-respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When
And
your purpose becomes anything and everything but building a relationship with the Most High, you're at a disadvantage. You're gonna lose
yeah,
every single time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts to that. I mean, that's not guessing. That's not rubbing the genie thing or whatever, the lamp. None of that. That has been proven time and time again because he controls the universe, and the universe is real good with what goes around comes around. That's just, I mean, that's just how it is, man.
and you know what? Look, we at the 2 hour mark,
Oh
but
wow, we are.
yeah. And here's the
Oh,
thing. I want to leave with a little food for thought before before y'all give y'all final remarks. Here's the thing to take from this. Being we talked about, trying to get rid of this old nigga shit.
mhm.
All right, there is a reason why. I'm going here biblically. There's a reason why one of Jesus's nicknames is the son of David. Because even though David messed up in how he went about getting Bathsheba, even though he was going to have her, because when you read, the fact is that no heir was going to come from anything of Saul's. Even though he messed up in that aspect and tried to hide it and do his little thing to sneak around about it, the one thing he never did, he never forsake God and his laws in the sense of he never put them bras or anything else between his relationship with God. Now, he messed up in how he went about with Bathsheba, but he was still known as a man after God's own heart.
I'm just trying to
Unlike
be
his
Abraham.
son.
I'm just trying to be like Abraham.
I don't even want that.
No, I mean, for me, it's like to be to be somebody that the Most High called friend, because that's the only person I know he ever did that with.
Okay.
I mean, that's my thing. But
I don't
I
know.
would say,
but I get what you're saying.
outside of Sarah and Hagar, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's the only person he's ever called friend, the only one. Everybody else is a man after his heart, and so on and so forth. But Abraham is the only one he called friend, the only one.
I don't know. For me,
Yeah.
I would still say being David after a man after his own heart. To me, it still had more perks. I don't know. To me,
I mean, it could.
I don't know.
It
To
could
me,
have.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it could have, but like I said, I don't. It's because and this is just my interpretation. A man after his own heart is someone he knows will always do or should do the right thing as opposed to the laws, statutes, and commandments and the precepts and everything that he put down. But even before he put those laws down and in place, he had Abraham. Before he even, you understand what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I mean, Abraham from the jump was his friend. That's the first person. That's his friend. I mean, outside of Adam and all that. But Abraham is the first person he called a friend. And if you look at from the moment Abraham came along, prior to who was the last person before Abraham in scripture? Was it Noah?
Let me see. Abraham. No.
Because I know Methuselah and all that was before Noah. I know that. But bottom line is that if you look at the time frame we're talking about between the last person the Most High even associated with or talked to or did anything with to Abraham, that was a long time period.
Yeah.
And then for him right out the gate to call Abraham his friend, he'd never done that before, and he'd never done
Moses came after, so yeah.
Right, he never did it before, and he never did it after. Abraham in the entire history is the only person he's ever called friend. I mean, to me, that's huge. Like I said, that's just my interpretation. That's huge. Because that's not something you just casually give to someone. You know what I mean?
And I would say the only thing that that probably rivaled that would be his view on Job.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I can see
Because
that.
he
I can
put
see that.
he put a lot on Job, man. He gave Job high marks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did. He did. Because that's actually it's interesting because just as much faith as Job had to put in the Most High put just as much faith in Job.
Yeah, he put a lot. He put a lot.
Yeah,
He told matter of fact, he told Lucifer, he's like, look, you can do anything to him,
short of
but
killing him.
but killing him, he still ain't gonna betray me. I mean, that's like wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of faith, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it's
yeah.
like wow.
Man, I love these stories, man. Yes, I do, man. Yeah, I tell you,
Yeah,
I
they really
love
nice.
these stories. I love reading this book, man. I'm
But
telling
and
you.
for me, what I enjoy about it is just dissecting it for the logical and practical aspects that I can apply to my life. Because hey, can't nobody touch me and be healed. I can't walk on water. Well, I mean, if it's a little puddle, I guess it's almost like it. But other than that, I can't do none of this stuff.
Yeah,
So just the practical aspects of these stories and how I can apply them to my life to show wisdom for others to follow. That to me, that's the best thing about it.
well, yeah, and a lot of people miss out the point. It's like, well, it's a rule book, it's a guide book, and that's true. That's true. But above all things, to me,
Mhm.
it's a book of comfort first.
Yeah,
Does that
that
make
it is.
sense?
Yeah,
I got you.
because
And a lot of people miss that. I mean, they just want to, well, the book says this, the book says that, and don't get me wrong, they're not wrong. It is a rule book, it is a guidebook, it is telling us how to do things. But above all things, to me, it
Mhm.
brings me more comfort.
well,
Mm.
here's what people don't understand. When you say spirit, spirit is often reflected as law because our consciousness that animates our bodies is governed by law to either against it or be for it.
Right.
Because you can't reason creation without having a standard to discern everything. So when you say God breathed his spirit into us, basically we're now able to animate and function by awareness of the laws that he have governed creation with. Because
Right.
everything we do is a reflection of what God said for it or against it. Like we know that, you know, we know how we killing people. Like, how do you know killing you is bad? Because you have value in that breath that you were given.
Right.
And that's a reflection of what's being put in you to animate your body, your awareness. And people think that somehow that you can have a consciousness and be tethered from your creator. That's impossible. Like if you're just a chemical reaction, you can't reason anything. You're just reacting, and your reactions are predetermined by how your chemicals came together. That's not what we observe. We
Yeah.
observe our reflection of how we treat one another, how we move in connection is often reflected by law. Everybody wants the law of God to be honored towards them. Nobody wants to be murdered, stolen from, lied to,
Right.
diminished the value of. Why is that important? Animals eat each other.
Yeah.
Animals, like they're instinctive. But why do we have uh, so much awareness for our lives? Because
Yeah.
we have the law. Spirit and law one and the same. People think it's always some metaphysical. There's something we don't understand because life itself, in terms of how the Most High created it, that's always gonna be a mystery because we can't create life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
It's always going to be a mystery, but the part that we do know is reflected in our consciousness and people think the mind and the heart, according to Most High, they're not of the flesh. They're of the spirit. This little fleshly heart that people are talking about, that's wickedness.
Yeah.
Like we forget our true selves is a spirit. You're just you're just walking dirt without your conscience, without your soul. You're
Ashes
walking
to
dirt.
ashes, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And people don't believe that, but go in the graveyard and dig up a body and tell me what's animating about it. You think there's
Yeah.
not a
Right.
difference between that body in that graveyard and what's in you? They're
Nope.
both bodies, but one has something that the other doesn't. Where did that come from, and how does that animate the body? That's that's spirit. That's law. Like you can't have the Most High without His law.
Yep.
That's how we rule and govern ourselves by His laws. And
And on that note, Brother Hulk has given the word.
There you go.
He's
All
no,
right.
given the word.
I'm just saying, like, even when you say, like, people have tried to divorce like love and these words, and then like, how do you to what standard do you discern someone's actions and behaviors? Can you say somebody's loving you when they're stealing from you, lying to you, trying to kill you? No, you have to use the commandments of God to discern everything.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
and see, this is the part that people don't like. They steal from God. They steal from His law to try to
Mhm.
create this secular worldview, but there is no other worldview without them stealing from the commandments of the Most High. There's nothing
Well, I mean, he said
because
it himself. Those who take from the word or add to it got something
yeah,
special coming for them. So, I mean, it is what it is.
because here's the thing: they don't have no justification to even have a standard to complain. How do you complain if there's no objective standard by the Creator? So what can you complain? Because if everything's opinion and preference, do what thou wilt, then you can't complain about someone else doing something as much as you want them to complain about you. But we all want the same objective standard to be held to us. But they want to say, well, if everything's Darwinism, survival of the fittest, if survival and reproduction are the highest orders, then why is murder wrong? Why is slavery wrong? Why do you care about these things? People just doing what's in their nature because the law of God is in you to know that you don't want to be treated like that, and you should also reflect that in how you treat others. Law of the Most High is there. It's there
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yep, that's it. But
Oh,
one last question, and I'll make it quick. Sigma, you still there?
Yes, sir. Still here.
In the World War II room, right?
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to get the Unit 731? And I'm asking out of curiosity.
Ah, I want to say Unit 731 should be coming up. I want to say they started doing experiments in the 1930s, so I'm hoping sometime next year.
They started in 1935. It ran from 10 years, 1935 to 45.
Right. So right now, I'm hoping we should be done at least with a good amount of the 1920s, because I'm hoping to be done with the stock market crash,
Of 29.
1929.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
20 Black
Once
Monday.
Yeah, once that's done, we're going to be shifting to the 1930s. That's when we'll start getting into a lot of the whole
All right.
secret groups and secret societies. So yeah,
All right.
it's definitely on the list.
All right, cool. Because I was wondering how long we can get there because I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that
honestly,
one.
like I said in the war room, we're going through every crook and cranny with details because we're doing a deep dive in human psychology and social engineering. And
Oh, yeah.
Isaac could tell you some stuff I've been reading up right now with Hitler. It's just like,
yeah,
human history is definitely interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Very,
I just got to get my schedule back right because I'm always catching the replay. I want to be there live for some of this, but I keep missing it. But that's on me. I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah,
Right.
well, but for sure, Unit 731, we will be covering that group pretty detailed because there's a lot of stuff I want to mention about them.
Oh yeah. All right, cool. So on that note, we definitely over the 2 hours. So I think Brother Eisen would like all of us to start giving our closing thoughts.
yeah, yeah,
Did I get that right?
yeah. You're right. You're right. So I guess Hulk, and then we'll go Sigma and Lawrence, and
cool. Well, thank you all for having me here. It's always honor to be here. This is one of the very few critically thinking, like-minded men out here because everybody else is just complaining about pussy and women, and it's so refreshing for men to like sharpen ourselves, edify ourselves in the truth, hold ourselves accountable to what we have to do. We have to do, not to what we're expecting someone else to do. It was always about what we have to do. And like I said, man, the world hates the truth. So we just got to keep, we're going to be a remnant out here. We got to expect that, it's not going to be a majority. The remnant is all there is. It's all there's ever been. So it was a good talk, man. We gotta get away from these old niggas that are not submitted to the Most High. These old niggas out here that want to they love bondage. They love slavery. They have this fetish with it, about being in weak positions and having somebody lord over them. That's because they reject the Most High, but they'll let a woman or the system or something lord over them. So it's good. I'm glad that I caught this live, and I will catch y'all on the next one.
All right, all right.
Peace out, y'all.
Yeah,
All
peace
right,
out,
brother.
peace out.
All right.
Yeah,
And Brother Sigma, go ahead.
well, to go back to the main topic of the stream, unless you meet someone from the old niggas generation that have the same mindset as Lawrence, stop listening to old niggas. Have some self-respect, have some mastery of yourself, and live your life. Put the phone down, turn the computer off, turn the TV off, go outside, live your life. And that's pretty much it. So, Isaac, thanks for having me. I know I got a stream going on tonight
Right.
with Dr. Phoenix, a culture bomb, and I know you all going to be joining with Soul over at
Yeah,
the
but
Oracle.
put that in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. And
Okay,
don't just drop off. Hang on in the back for a minute.
sure.
You up, Lawrence, my co-host.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I was
You
waiting
good? You
for I was
good?
waiting for Sigma to drop the link. I'm
You
sorry.
good?
Yeah, I'm
Um,
getting now.
yeah. Look, man. Listen to me.
Uh-oh.
Listen to me. The only old nigga who's telling the truth. just listen to me. So, I'm sorry. I'm doing Dr. Octopus from the Spider-Man movie, but he's talking to his arms. Listen to me. So but seriously, like I said, man, I know it's hard for you guys out there. There's crazy old niggas everywhere. I mean, I be everywhere. I got to deal with them, and they my fucking people. I don't know what to tell you, but just fuck them, man. Fuck them. Like I said, if you want to know or there's a question or whatever, come ask me, man. Yeah, I'll tell you. If you can't find me, get Isaac. He'll call me like, yo, so and so want to know. But just man, fuck them, man. Let them burn out, drop dead of old age, whatever. Like I said, they need to be fridged. Other than that, man, same as always. Hashtag first. Keep your head up and something new. Always wash your ass. Lawrence can't be an old nigga. He doesn't want socialism. Man, fuck socialism, man. You kiss my ass. Fuck socialism, man. Yo, Cannon, I'm telling you, that means after Omega, I'm gonna have to fight you. That's all I'm saying.
But no, he gave you a compliment there.
I'm about to say that's more of a compliment because
I know,
they
no,
had to
no,
say you got the
no,
PhD. You got
yeah,
the
I know you
PhD
right.
old niggas. It's like
I
China
know.
communism treats us better than
I know.
America, but that's
Yeah.
that's another subject.
But I was just joking. But like I said, man, I mean, like I said, I've done the PhD thing. I've traveled the world thing. I've dated all types of women. I got my purpose. I got my business, my career, yada yada yada. I'm being real with you. Whatever the fuck they telling you is bullshit. It's bullshit. Like I said, the degrees don't fucking matter. None of that shit matters, man. What matters is the shape and content of your character and being who the fuck you supposed to be. Not for everybody else, but for yourself and living to be the truest person you can be for you. Fuck everybody else. And I mean that for real. Family, friends, male, female. It's got to be about you. As long as what you're doing don't bring harm to nobody else, do it. But pussy and old niggas, nah. No. But I'm sorry, Eisen. That's it. That's all I got.
You good. Well, all right. Hey, pretty much, hey, the hell with what these old niggas talking about. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see what maybe the crown is gonna do with old niggas. But maybe the bird song. But either way it goes, hey, look, hey, don't be a hospital gown nigga. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, right.